Welcome to the series where I show you what I cook every day to replicate the pleasure of junk food while still being healthy, okay? And also being easy and convenient, okay, to prepare. So let's start off with a convenience tip, okay? Convenience, very convenient thing that I don't know what so many people miss, okay? You see I'm cutting the, sorry, you see I'm washing the potatoes, okay? I'm not peeling them, and I'm not rinsing them, okay? This is something crazy, like, I remember being at a party and it was late at night. There was some smoke involved and people were hungry, okay? So they went into the kitchen and started like peeling potatoes and cutting them and like rinsing them. What the fuck? Rinse potatoes? Like, okay, I don't know, like, I'm not the cook here. It was many years ago. I had no idea what cooking was and how cooking was easy, and so I saw that, oh, interesting. I didn't do that. I don't usually do this. Like, does it matter so much? I've never done this. I've always missed out. Turns out, this utter bullshit. Okay, especially the rinsing. Okay, the peeling. I mean, if you are scared of some potato peel, I guess you can peel potatoes. I don't get it, to be honest. Like, the fuck. I keep the peel. It's not that bad. Even so, it's actually a bit better. Okay, I prefer it with the peel on. So don't stress peeling potatoes. I've cut a fingernail once. I was helping my mother cutting potatoes and peeling potatoes, and I cut a fingernail. So annoying. So I never cutting potatoes again from there on. And I actually found out they're not that bad. Hence, they're actually pretty better. Okay, in my opinion. So don't stress about peeling potatoes. Very time saving, extremely time saving. Usually, there are recipes that require you to cut potatoes, peel potatoes. Bro, like, fuck off. No, don't do that. It's a waste of time. Even if if you're doing a potato mash, again, I don't give a fuck if there is some potato peel in the. If you are so, picky and annoying to do, like, annoying to have, you think it is annoying to have some potato peel, remove them. I don't know, to be honest, I never remove them. They're always in my potatoes. So, you notice here, I took a metal bowl, okay? This is more a health thing, okay? I will discuss in a moment. By the way, I'm adding butter now because, as you know, the 6 pillars include fat as one of the pillars. So the 6 pillars, a quick recap, is salt, fat, umami, acidity, sweetness, and digestibility. So butter is a part of fat. So let's go back to a moment to the bowl, the health tip I want to give you. So you may know, okay, you may also don't. There are many people unaware of this, that there are certain plastics, okay. There is like an actual list of plastics that can or cannot contain certain chemicals known as phthalates or BPAs, okay. And matter of fact, if you take a look, at least in Italy, if you take a look at the receipts, okay, since like BPA is so like dangerous, okay, so unsafe, they even made receipts with no like BPA free. Let me see. I don't have a receipt here, but there is like BPA free sign because like everybody like knows that at this moment. So before they didn't know it, now we know it. The same goes with phthalates. Phthalates are more like present in many other places. So yeah, there are certain things you want to avoid. So do not try not working too much in plastic, okay, as fat, especially because like these molecules are fat soluble and they are also going to release more in a heated environment. So yeah, if you're dealing with fat, try not using plastic. That's one thing. So I added too much salt. No worries, you can take this out. Whenever I mess up, I'm starting to get used that if you mess up, you're not messing up, okay? There is always a way out. In this case, the way out was pretty simple, like just take out physically the salt. Funny thing is that later I re-added it because I realized I actually needed some salt. But yeah, so take the salt away. I will also do something, okay, that will require less salt, okay? I will do something that not many people do. Not many people like will judge me for doing this and they will say, what the fuck are you doing? Who thought about this? Like, are you crazy? You're seeing now me opening this box. Okay, this box contains a powder, a special powder that will make most of your foods more savory, okay, more pleasureful, okay. The 6 pillars, if enhanced, Obviously, there is a certain point where the if you enhance too much, for example, saltiness, it will suck. There is a point if you make something too sweet, it will suck. There is also a bliss point for salt, okay? In this case, I was removing salt because the powder I just added, okay, contained already salt. So I was kind of balancing out. The powder I just added is a very savory powder, and it is basically the broth powder, the thing you add into water to turn the water into a broth, okay? That was the trick, okay? So this allows you to basically incorporate in your food the savoriness that it doesn't have, okay? Most junk food companies will do this without you knowing, okay? They will say, oh, the ingredients of this thing, then they will say monosodium glutamate. Who the fuck knows what monosodium glutamate is? It is umami, okay? Search up on Google monosodium glutamate. It is basically the umami particle, okay? If, for example, saltiness is given by sodium, okay, and NaCl, you know, sodium chloride or whatever the fuck it is, the molecule of umami is monosodium glutamate. They also often put something else, which is the flavor enhancer, and by flavor enhancer, it is usually a umami enhancer, meaning a second compound that will basically enhance 10 times fold the umami perception of that umami monosodium glutamate particle. Very fucked up. So use umami in your food. Try to use whole ingredients to get umami, like tomatoes, vegetables, meats. Yes, meats is a big one. Cheeses and shit. But, you know, just search up umami and you will find something. Bell pepper. I'm adding bell pepper because it is sweet. It satisfies one of the other pillars. The original recipe of these meatballs do not ask for bell pepper. I add it because I can modify recipes and make them more pleasureful just by looking at the 6 pillars and also tweaking some other things I learned right away. And bell peppers is a great ingredient, and I'm also not using a cutting board, okay? To be honest, I want to be honest with you. If I didn't have the GoPro mounted in my mouth, I would bite it and drop it into the tray, like into the bowl, okay? Yeah, it's kind of strange, kind of weird, kind of disgusting, but I don't give a fuck. If I'm alone and I'm eating for myself, who the fuck sees that? I don't care. So I will literally like just take the vegetables and bite them with the teeth. Very, like, this is top tier convenience, by the way. I'm not expecting you to do this. This is very convenient. I'm the master of convenience here, so I don't expect you to bite your vegetables. But I do bite my like, especially carrots. Kind of annoying to cut. But yeah, since I could not use the mouth, I just used the cutting board. So I did everything there. So let me see. Okay, I had a note. Probably I lower the heat, okay? Usually this is how it goes. When you hear something that doesn't sound right to you, okay, I'm adding more salt, by the way. When you hear something that doesn't sound right to you, like maybe the water is boiling hard, like you hear like and you're like, fuck, this may spill over. Or you, for example, you see a lot of steam coming out of the pan. That is an input, okay? That is an input. You got that input, the vision or the sound, and the output will be lower the heat, okay? Very important, like, skill to have. I just added, if you noticed, rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is acidic. There was not a lot of acidity. Actually, there was no acidity in that meatballs, in that bowl. So I needed to add acidity by myself. You can do this by way of lemon or whatever you want. I did it with vinegar, okay? Makes things better. Also, vinegar is often used in many junk food, processed food, like ingredients, like maybe potato chips. They often use that. So if you go back a few moments, you notice that the oven, I didn't set it up. I just turned it on, and I don't care. Okay. Usually, if you see my previous videos, I to be honest, I don't even preheat it. Now I'm kind of preheating it. Usually, what I do is just prepare everything. Oven is off. Make the meatballs, place them into the tray. And then, after I have everything ready, I will turn on the oven and put the tray in. No preheated, no nothing. That is completely fine, you can do that. The only thing is that you will lose time, because if you preheat it now, you will cook them quicker, so this is why I did that. But to be honest, if you forget, it's no worry, you don't have to wait extra long to let the oven preheat. If you forgot that you didn't turn on the oven, you can just turn it on at the end and place the things in. Look, bro, it's crazy. So the potatoes were not ready, so I was pinching them throughout the way to check if they were ready, and now they were ready. So I basically, they were like, I went through them with a knife with no resistance, so that means they are ready. Okay, now the situation here is a bit tricky. Okay, so I don't want to use a potato mash because I am I'm for convenience. I don't want to take out any weird utensils. You could argue that it is not convenient to do this the way I'm doing it. Honestly, I like the idea of not having things to do, like not having to take out any special stuff to make my food. I like the idea to be able to make something with my bare hands and a fork, and other people need other utensils. Just satisfying, and I'm not making any mess. I'm not creating too much mess in the kitchen that I will later on have to clean. Like, potato mash is very messy, and the problem now is that the potatoes are very hot potatoes. The ground beef, the butter, and the bell pepper were cold. Okay, so I'm trying to kind of equalize, okay, the temperature, like very hot, very cold, trying to mix it in a way that they transfer heat from each other, so that I can work with my hands. Okay, my hands would have been perfect. The problem is that exactly, like, the potatoes were fucking hot. I could not get my hands in the in previous videos I kind of tried, and I will always learn the lesson that I should have not, because they're very fucking hot. I can burn myself. So just use a fork to crush them. It's completely safe this way, and you crush them and you kind of mix everything. You try to get as much of the potato crushed as possible. It doesn't have to be a fucking paste, a precise paste. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you don't need to be so precise. It's just potatoes. You don't have to make a smooth, like, cream of potato mash. It doesn't have to be that way. Just crush it with a fork. If the potatoes are tender enough, they will be easily broken down with a fork. Okay, if they're not easy to break down with a fork, you probably undercooked the potatoes. So in this case, it is a bit better to overcook the potatoes in case you are doubtful. Okay, now the mixture is kind of well mixed. You see, like, there is a good balance of red and yellow. So this was my clue that I could go in with my hands and start mixing everything. So yeah, this is, like, extremely convenient, as I said, because I didn't have to use any potato mash. It probably would have took even more time, and it's just fun. It's just fun using your hands and mix everything together with your bare hands. It's satisfying. Okay, you're there mixing stuff. With a potato mash, you probably would have needed to mix it anyway with your hands, because a potato mash will basically, it's probably not called a potato mash. It's called, like, those things that you squeeze the potato in and makes, like, those filaments and shit. But okay, I'm taking an egg, and I wanna be honest here. I don't usually do that. I usually don't. Like, I usually don't add eggs. Okay, this is something I never do, and you don't need to. Okay, you don't need to. People will say that, oh, you need an egg. Probably should have added it before, because it was cold. A cold egg is very cooling, will cool down the potatoes. But the point is that the reason I added an egg is purely for nutritional value. Okay, you will be completely fine if you don't add it. People will usually add an egg because they believe, may also be true, not in a very strong sense in my opinion, that adding an egg will glue the things more. Okay, maybe a rational reason. To be honest, I never do it, so don't stress too much. Doesn't add anything special, doesn't add more taste to the recipe. Trust me, don't care. Actually, this just brought me to a memory. Basically, I was in Sardinia, and we bought two burgers. One burger was like plain, and one burger was with eggs. Okay, like grounded together with eggs. I remember a cousin of mine said, "Wow, this other burger is better because it had eggs." Actually, it was not better because it had eggs. I remember clearly, okay, that the reason I liked that burger more, even I liked it more, was not because of the eggs. Because usually people do not look into this because they are not aware of the 6 pillars. I was not really aware, but I was aware of the saltiness. I was able to pick out that the reason I liked that burger more was because it was more salty. Okay, So just a memory out there, I don't know why I remember that. So, as you see, I'm trying to place the fucking meatballs in and crushing them. Next time I make them, I wanna try to, like, I've had this new idea, maybe it could be very convenient also, to lay out everything, like drop all the whole loaf and spread it out, like as if it was a meatloaf, and then like separate the loaf in like sections, and then like shape them into balls. I don't know if I get the point across, but I hope that makes sense. I wanna really try that. I'm really curious. Or actually, instead of making meatballs, I could just make a meatloaf. This could have been used as a fucking meatloaf. So this the thing I'm doing here is pretty controversial. So this is usually how it goes. Okay, you take meatballs, you take a plate, separate plate, you put the breadcrumbs. Okay, and then you take the meatballs. You flip them into the mixture of the fucking breadcrumbs. Very messy, extremely messy creating. Takes time. Why? Why do we have to do that? Okay, convenience here. Remember, convenience. I'm not here to do any impression to our chefs. Okay, I don't have to impress anyone. I just want to eat something healthy, tasty, and make it easy. Okay, and this is the best way I found to breadcrumb everything without creating too much of a mess. Okay, very convenient. Just sprinkle some breading on top. Breading is important not because it adds crunchiness or anything special, not because it adds digestibility. It's because it adds digestibility. Okay, bread is highly digestible. Breadcrumbs, the same thing. Okay, you like digestible stuff. Breadcrumbs are easily digested. Even the bread that is in the oven there is easily digested. You like that shit because of that. So adding a breading will make your food basically more digestible. Would make your food like a higher glucose spike, and the glucose spike is really appreciated by your body. You really like that. So I took them out of the oven thinking they were ready. They were actually not. They were like very steamy and moist inside. Like, yes, they have to be moist to a certain degree, but they were really like, they broke apart very easily. I felt like they were too watery inside. So I put them back into the oven, and remember, in these cases, it's better to overcook. Like if you overcook them, they will be tastier. As long as you don't like burn them completely, like it's pretty hard to burn something like this in the oven, you're fine. Like, it's better. It tastes better when it is cooked more. If you cook something more, like something like this more, you're making the Maillard reaction more occurring, meaning the browning reaction is more present, and you will be happier because it will be tastier. I'm also doing an experiment here. I wanted to add a bit more olive oil on top, just purely for experimenting. They turned out to be quite similar, actually, for maybe even quite a bit better. But yeah, obviously, because fat is a pillar of the pleasure hypothesis, it also enables the temperature to raise to the level, to the Maillard reaction to occur, okay? Because the fat is can be heated to a higher degree than water. So I am gonna take them out again to see if they are ready. If you see, like, the one I put the oil on, they are brown, like more brown. Okay, this is exactly the thing I was saying. They went through the Maillard reaction more better, so they are more brown. That's very tasty. It enhances the umami perception. Okay, it makes the food more umami. If something is seared, if something is braised, it will be more umami. Okay. Very crucial thing. This is the main reason you brown things. Okay, so yeah, unconventional breading worked like a charm. Try it out. It's very convenient. Honestly, I got so much resistance when I used to cook to like bread stuff, because breading stuff is quite annoying. It's not fun. Again, it's pretty messy. So every time I had to do some breaded meat, I was always a bit resistant, and making it this way was a game changer. So I didn't only change this recipe, I changed a ton of recipes to make them more convenient, more tasty, okay, and more healthy, most importantly. So if you have any idea, if you have a recipe you're thinking about that you maybe want to modify, okay, you find a bit hard to do, a bit annoying, okay, submit me the recipe. I have a link in the description. You can check that out. It is basically a recipe optimizer. I will personally tweak the recipe in a way that you can skip and avoid certain steps and certain ingredients, and maybe even add some ingredients to make the recipe something you can do more easily and also tastier. So that's pretty much it. Like the video if you like the video, comment if you want, if you got this far, surprisingly. Check the description, and I'm out.
Thank you.